Welcome back to the Williams, Elleby, Howard, and Easter YouTube channel. I'm Joel and this is Chase, and today we're going to cover a topic that some people get confused about, and that is, what is a lawsuit? You want to tell us what a lawsuit is not first, Chase?
Lawsuit is not a claim. That comes up a lot, actually, because people always ask, okay, are we filing a lawsuit when I send a letter to the insurance company? And the short answer is no. Just because we send a letter to the insurance company or put them on notice of a wreck, we'll just use a car wreck as an example, that is not a lawsuit. That is really just presenting a claim. Yeah. So it's much, much different.
Yeah, so there's a substantial period of time that goes into a case before a lawsuit is filed, and that involves figuring out exactly what happened in the investigative stage, figuring out how bad somebody's hurt, what the damages are, what the amount of money that you're going to be asking for, and typically a negotiation stage before formal litigation is ever filed. So that's where the injured person, their job at that point is just to treat and try to get better and do what their doctors are telling them to do. Our job as attorneys during that point is to gather all of the information we need to prove whose fault, if we're using the wreck example, the wreck was. And then once the person that's injured is done treating, then we gather up medical bills and records and lost wage information and all of these kinds of things to send a demand off. And we're still not into a lawsuit stage at this point. And then usually get a response back from the insurance company that will say we offer X, or either they'll pay the demand. And a lot of times the case never gets to a lawsuit. It just stays in that claim stage. And it's hunky-dory and everybody reaches a settlement that they can live with, and you go home and you never have a lawsuit. So when does a claim officially become a lawsuit?
Well, right. I mean, just kind of backing up 100%. Most people would love to get the case, the wreck, whatever it is, resolved in that claim setting, if you will. It becomes a lawsuit when you can't get the claim resolved, right? When you can't find you can't find a number that everyone agrees with. So the next step, the only thing you can do at that point is to file a lawsuit. I always tell my clients, Joel can't make, none of the lawyers here can make the insurance company do anything. I mean, we can send a demand and say, pay your policy limits or pay X or pay Y, but really other than just asking nicely, and of course there's some teeth to things that we can do to get them to pay, but we can't force them to do anything. The only way you can force an insurance company to pay is going to trial and getting a judgment. So on the claim side, when you're unable to get the case resolved, that's when you go and you file the lawsuit. And the lawsuit doesn't automatically mean trial. The lawsuit just means, okay, now we're in the litigation phase. Now, kind of to what Joel was talking about, where we go and, we'll use the wreck as an example. We can always do an open records request without filing a lawsuit to get the police report, to get any dash cam. But when we file the lawsuit, that then allows us to do a little more formal discovery, right? There's videos on discovery and things like that we've talked about, where we can go and depose the person who caused the wreck. We can depose witnesses. We can depose the cops. We can send formal subpoenas or formal requests to get records and things like that to further build the case, right? And then in the lawsuit phase, I would say you really want, and most of the time we can get cases resolved, like a car wreck case, for instance, in the claim phase. Then once you get in the lawsuit phase, of the ones that make it to a lawsuit, a large majority of those settle before you actually get to the trial.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to a lot of people say, well, I'll see you in court, right? Right. Well, what does that even mean?
Right.
Like, certainly see you in court doesn't apply to the claim stage or the pre-suit stage. I guess technically you're taking somebody to court. If you file a lawsuit, we call it a complaint in the state of Georgia, and then you have to serve the other side with the summons and complaint and all of this kind of stuff. But I kind of view see you in court as, well, when do I actually have to go to court?
When I physically be in courtroom.
That's for like maybe it's a hearing, maybe it's a jury trial, maybe it's a bench trial. But that's being in court to me, because like Chase said, even though you filed a lawsuit by filing the complaint and serving the other party, that doesn't mean by any stretch of the imagination that you're going to actually go and face a jury. It might mean that at some point, but even at that stage, I'd say the majority of cases settle and before you ever get to a jury trial or a bench trial.
Yeah, most of our clients will never be in court. Even when we file the lawsuit, we litigate it for years, but they'll never step foot in court unless and until we have to go to trial.
Exactly. So what is a lawsuit? What's the process of a lawsuit? but we're not going to get into the process of a lawsuit in this video because this video would be 3 hours long. But you have the claim stage, and that's when the investigation, the treating of the injured person is done. Negotiations take place between us as the lawyers for the hurt party and the insurance company, and sometimes that gets it done. You're not in a lawsuit stage until those settlement negotiations break down, and then you are in formal litigation. And then there is a more extended period of time and a more thorough investigation with depositions and this interrogatories, request for production. All of that kind of stuff takes place after a lawsuit has been filed. So just because you have a claim does not mean you have a lawsuit. And it's really just as simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, hopefully that has cleared up what is a lawsuit in a personal injury case for you. If you had any questions about that, we hope this video has been helpful to you. So give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, we will see you in a couple of weeks for more personal injury videos. As personal injury lawyers, we love what we do, and we're happy to share the experience we've gained in personal injury law. To help our family, friends, and YouTube subscribers, we've shared over 300 personal injury videos covering various injury topics. So if you'd like to gain more knowledge that may help protect yourself or a loved one when you're on the roads or out in public, check out our channel or view our playlist of shorts for quick personal injury tips.